everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 81 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series, where I just want to pop over to my pneumatic area for a second before we get into today's episode, to show you guys that the drones are doing a great job. I mean, I've got zero complaints over here. They are doing exactly what I would expect them to do. We've got the raw beef and leather farm going. We could easily make it so that more cows can exist at the same time, so that we don't have the whole problem with not enough cows. Right now it's a little slow because I limited the cows to 4, but this was really proof of concept / check out how cool we can do things with drones. So that said, what I'd like to do today is switch gears again, because we've been doing a lot of pneumatic craft and our tools dimensions and stuff recently. What I'd like to look at doing is maybe switch into mechanism. As you can see, I've got plutonium on my to-do list here, and I've got a healthy-ish amount of plutonium. Mostly because I went over to my reactors in advance of... Oh boy, what is going on over here? What is this? What's happening? Oh, nuclear waste is high. Really? I don't know if that reactor, it's disabled. Yeah, why am I having a reactor? Why do I have a nuclear waste problem here? Explain. I mean, I know we have a lot of nuclear waste in this, but that shouldn't be... This is not good, I can tell you that much. Oh boy, radiation poisoning. Yep, that'll do it. Alright, explain. Explain. I did something. Oh look, my... my thing is refilling my bricks. That is actually hilariously cool. Unintended. Was not prepared for that. Doesn't pneumatic craft have an upgrade for radiation protection and all that? Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out what happened there, because I have no idea. Why did radiation things happen? I'm guessing we overfilled on radiation. Maybe I am misunderstanding, but maybe we didn't account for the amount of radiation that, or the nuclear waste that was being produced. So let's remove this death point. Let's get some radiation protection into our pneumatic craft stuff. Because I thought, the upgrades. Wasn't there a radiation upgrade for these guys? There is a radiation shielding. Yeah, I think that'll protect me from stuff. Where is my pneumatic armor? Let's check chest plate. Mechanism radiation. Nice. Provides protection against harmful effects of mechanism radiation. Let's get 4 of those, shall we? So we're going to need, a radiation shielding unit. We're going to need a module base. We are going to need bronze nuggets. Okay. Let's get these added to the to-do, because I have a feeling we're going to want these at some point. Bronze nugget. That should be cool. Alright, radiation shielding unit should be good. And I'm assuming I want 4 of these. This was not planned, by the way. Just putting that out there. This was not planned at all. Not even a little bit. This was 100% not expected. Okay. And then I can install these in my new armor. Also, there's a radiation suit from Mechanism directly if I hadn't have done this yet, but yeah. So let's add you as an upgrade. Cool. Let's add you as an upgrade. Cool. Let's add you as an upgrade. Cool. And finally you. Excellent. Alright, Back to the radiation area. What did I do? There's a Geiger counter, right, from Mechanism. Have we made one of these yet in this series? I don't even know. Yeah, it's a little bit high. It's a little bit high. What happened? Did you fill up? Did you overflow? Is that what happened? You did overflow. What a stinker. I thought that this thing, like, I was 95% sure that this thing was cool. I was 95% sure that this thing was cool. Yoinks. Well, that clears that up. Hopefully that won't happen again. Sweet. Well, the good news is radiation's not the end of the world. How are these guys doing, by the way? I haven't checked on them in a while, to be fair. Oh, yeah, they have, like, nothing going on. That's right, because they release the radiation almost as fast as they receive it. So that's pretty cool. And I guess I could do the same for you. Or should do, at least I should say, the same for you. Sweet. Alright. So that'll clear up this plutonium stuff. Do you also have speed upgrades in you? You do. So that's part of the problem, is I just didn't have speed and energy upgrades in these things on the right. But when I was here before, and I'm not lying, because I did that, like, I came here off camera before we started the episode so that I could toggle on plutonium production, because I knew I needed some plutonium pellets today. And I checked, and we were processing nuclear waste faster than we were getting it. I watched. This thing had a net loss. So I don't know how we all of a sudden started producing more than we were processing, but crisis averted. Well, sort of. Crisis is currently averted. We definitely had a little bit of an overflow of nuclear bad times, but that's okay. This will resolve itself over time. So just leave this alone, and the ill effects that we have caused will slowly over time. I guess this is around like the hot spot right here. See how the number's going down as we watch it? So give it like a few Minecraft days and it'll chill. It'll chill. It'll be okay. And because we're wearing radiation shielding now, we can survive over here. So that's cool too. So let's go home real quick. Check in on our production of things. Are we out of uranium? Is that what's up? I think we're out of uranium. You know what we should do? We should set up... What would be cool is if we could do... Do we have a fluorite block thingy over here? Liquid hydro... fluorite ore from Mechanism. So we don't have that, dude? I guess we could make one, right? I think we could. If I got a block absorber. We're going to need a sponge, which I don't know if I can make. We can make them from dry sponges. Is there no other way to make a sponge? What's the deal with sponges? Come on, Minecraft. Give me the option to make a sponge at some point, would you? So how do you, like, legit get sponges? Can you get them from fishing? Yeah. Sounds awful. I want the block absorber, though. It would be cool if I could get fluorite from that infinite uranium dimension. Well, let's go get our digital miner here, who I assume is done. And we've gotten a lot of... Cool, yeah, you're pretty much done. And if we look at fluorite, we're pretty good on fluorite. Uranium, obviously, we are not super great on. We have FTB Industrial Contraptions, uranium ore. Now, can this stuff also be processed the same way, or is this different-ish? He should be able to be processed. The point is, though, is we're going to go into our uranium dimension. So let's remove the netherite OMG card here. Sodium dim, uranium for days. See how there's no power in there? If we were to travel to this dimension right now, bad times would happen. Unless I traveled there with my phased field generator. Then we'd be okay. Right, but now we're charging it up. So now we can go to uranium for days. Dial it up. Hey, wait, what? Uranium for days. Dial. There you go. And life is good out here? Yeah, I think we're cool. Yeah, I think we're cool. So let's stick this guy right here-ish with some power. And start. 165,000 blocks have been identified within this area. So that's a thing. That's a thing that's happening right now. We've got a lot of uranium. Remember I said uranium for days? Was I lying? Yep. Also, real quick, I'm just going to do something real fast. Isn't there a chunk loader upgrade for Mechanism? This will make it so I don't have to manually load my chunks. Doesn't Mechanism have a chunk loader upgrade, or is that disabled? There is an anchor upgrade, which I'm pretty sure will cause this to be chunk loaded. So, like, if we look at this dude right now, nothing coming in, right? If I go back into my Uranium for Days dimension, and we install the anchor upgrade in the upgrades, yoink. There we go. Keeps the machines chunk loaded. Okay. Now if we look at this, see? Stuff's coming in. And we're apparently getting some fluorite because he was doing that. Nice. That's so cool, isn't it? I wonder, like, if you just left this world running for, like, a year, would this basement just eventually fill up with dirt blocks and grass blocks? I feel like the answer is yes. I feel like that might be a thing that happens. All right, so, hey, we've got a Geiger counter now. We know how to measure, you know, what happens in a chunk when you have a nuclear accident. I told you, like, every series I do one, right? Like, there's never been a situation where I haven't. Let's see, where's the bad number right now? See, it's gone down significantly since I was last here. I think 79, probably the center of the top here is where it's worst. We were at like 90-something core, right? So it's gone down pretty significantly. The radiation will go away. Also, there's admin commands if you want to cheat it away. And also there's config options if you don't want that to exist. But me, I like having, I'm just wondering why the reactor didn't shut off automatically. I don't know, whatever. Not going to worry about it. Also, because it's Mechanisms uranium. Oh, I got it. Uranium chunks are what's going in here right now. Right, because I've been silk touching. That's right. Right. Can you just go right into here like usual? Like anything else? I'm assuming you can. Let's get rid of raw silver, because clearly that doesn't do anything in here, and do this. And I'm going to assume that that works for me. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So now we've got uranium cooking again. We've got plutonium. Let's look into making a new thing, the SPS, from this mod, from Mechanism. And the SPS is pretty straightforward to make, except for the fact that it needs a stupid amount of energy and a stupid amount of resources. But that's okay. We'll deal with that in a minute. All right, so what we want is some SPS casings. And we're going to want 60 of those, which we are missing HDPE sheets. Didn't I have those, like, fully automated in this guy? Or am I crazy? Where's my shrinking tool? I've got way too many gadgets in this. I've just got way too many things in this backpack right now. What's up with HDPE sheets? We've got HDPE pellets. Yes. Do we not know how to make sheets from pellets? Why did my armor reboot when I teleported? Enrichment chamber recipe. Didn't I have this programmed, or am I crazy? We do have an enrichment chamber down here, right? Isn't it this guy? Huh, I guess I just never made that. Okay, well, back to this. 60 of these. Missing HDPE pellets. Really? Do I not have you... Do I not have whatchamacallit in here? I may not have whatchamacallit in here. That's probably the problem. Yeah, I don't have whatchamacallit in here. Let's get that up and running, huh? Yeah, let's do that real quick. Shouldn't take more than a minute, right? One, two, three. Okay. So we're going to put the receiver down first. Then we're going to want some cables. We're going to want some external storage. And that should be all she wrote, right? And let's throw a network guy in there just to be cool. I think just a regular wireless transmitter should be fine. I don't see why we wouldn't put this in here. So we'll want the receiver. Let's just plop it here-ish. Okay. And then we can have our cables. We can have this dude. We will link this guy. We'll go home. Running out of places for this. It's alright, we'll be fine. Oh, that reminds me, this should be in a bauble. Cool. Now we should have this ready. You can be here with a high priority. And that should be cool. And now HD PE pellets should be available. Now I can make my 60 SPS casings, my 3 SPS ports. That may need... It uses SPS casings, so let's wait for the 60 to finish there. We're also going to want a supercharged coil, which is missing a laser. Probably just add that to the list of things that you know how to make. Close. Close, close, close. There we go. We only need one of these generally. And that should be a quick craft, right? Oh, no, it needs the ultimate control circuits. That's why it's a little bit slow. We'll go back to SPS. We've got the 60 there, so let's get 3 of these. And then 123 reactor or structural glass. Pretty sure we've got some of those ready to go. Yeah, it's easy. We'll just make that. Cool. All right. So come back in a sec once the glass is done crafting. Cool? Be right back. All right. So let's set up a supercritical phase shift. Sound cool? So I'm going to do this in my reactors area, despite the fact that it's like highly irradiated right now. And I think I want to build it in this chunk. So what I'm going to do is make sure that this chunk is loaded and that we're ready to go. Okay, so the supercritical phase shifter is not too bad to build. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put down 3 of these guys, then 3 of these. Okay, then we put one of these here, and then we do 5 across, except for this one. And we do that 3 times. And then 3 across, and then we just kind of surround this with SPS casings. Okay, and then we repeat this on all sides. Got it? And it's a good idea to have exactly enough SPS casings and ports and everything, because it's easy to like mix this up a little bit. But the gist is that we should be good to go off of, I think these guys are corners. So if you want, that is 5, right? And this. And I usually have a little bit more glass on me than I need necessarily, but that's okay, right? And then in the middle, and then on the bottoms, and then in the corners, building this big multi-block is, you know, a little complicated, but also kind of fun. Now, I think this one goes in the corner here, if I'm not mistaken, because then we want to do the same pattern on the floor. Cool. And then also the same pattern on the roof, for that matter. But what we should do is the 3 here. And I wind up always missing one, but I feel like I'm getting it right this time. I'm gonna get it right this time. I know I am. I know I'm gonna get it right this time. I believe in me. Now we also need these guys. And they can go in the walls. Oh, look, it formed. So I did something right. And I think you could have a fourth in there if you just wanted to be, you know, even. And then this thing can go anywhere on the inside like that. So if we look, haha, I built it correctly. Yay me. Yay me. How's my radiation doing? 56. See, we're getting there. We're fine. It's not a big deal. It's fine. It's totally fine. Okay, so now with this built, there's two things that we need. So for the supercritical phase shifter, all this thing can do is turn polonium liquid into antimatter. That's it. And it requires a stupid amount of energy. About 400 million RF a tick is what you can put in there. Though in fairness, you can pump in as little or as much as you want. So polonium, we pipe in, antimatter, we pipe out. And that's really all there is to it. So let's get that going, because the nuclear waste here, he's currently disabled, so I can flip you back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off and make it redstone normal, which means he's going to need redstone in order for him to run. And let's get a lever. Well, actually, I think I have some. Okay, so now you won't run unless you have, you know, that stuff. So I'm questioning where... Oh, are we out of... Oh, that's right, I turned off my reactor. Yeah, we should turn that back on. Cool. And now we're getting polonium. Now remember, this only runs during the day, but that has so far not been a problem for us. Okay. And then what we want to do is have the basic pressurized tubes. Basic pressurized tubes. I feel like I'm going to need a few more of those. At least 8 more, if not 16. Okay, and we will run that boop, 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 straight over here. Now, I'm not going to connect it up just yet. What I want to see is this thing's going to back stuff with polonium, and then this guy's going to back stuff with polonium, right? And that's pretty much what I'd like to see happen. So let's come back in a minute. Also, maybe this rain can go away. That would be nice. All right, I think I got the rain to go away, which is nice. You are now poloniumed up. You are backstuffing in polonium, and eventually this guy will backstuff in polonium. So let's hook him up. Boop. And now he should be full of polonium. Nice. Okay, cool. Now let's get this guy power. I don't think you have to put power on the same side as that, but I'm going to because it doesn't hurt. Flux. Hey, I already have a flux point bound to my network, so that's cool. Let's get a few more flux points just for future use. Boing. Hello. Look at the progress go. So he's currently doing 800,000 RF a tick, which is a lot, to be fair. That's just a large amount. But remember, that's because that's what he's limited to. Okay. I kind of want to go check our big battery and see how it's doing with that. I forget what my production is. My production's sitting around about 1 million. So we still have a net gain if you think about it. Not bad. So output, all right, we may not have a net gain. We may have a net loss going on. But we have 600 billion RF. So, you know. So, you know. And we already have 2 millibuckets of antimatter. Look at that. Hooray. So now my big question is, am I keeping up with the polonium demand? What we have to do is we have to wait for these pressurized tubes to back stuff. And if they back stuff polonium here, that means we might be in a little bit of trouble. Now, if we wanted to speed this up, we absolutely could by bypassing the limit. And now we're doing 52 million RF a tick, which is probably the limit. And look, it burned through all my polonium. So now if I turn this bypass back on, now we can see if we're backstuffing. Okay, interesting. We are backstuffing polonium. So what we can do is we can set the limit to something like 1.6 million RF a tick. and see if we net... Okay, so we're still backstuffing. So how about 2 million RF a tick? Well, that's not terrible. See? Now we're burning through it pretty good. Now, if I took off the limit, is he always using 52? Yeah, I think he's always going to use 52, whether or not there's polonium in there. So that's just a waste of RF. So if we limit it to 2 million, we know that we're keeping up. That works, right? That's cool. So 2 million RF is what we need to set to our supercritical phase shifter to make sure that he can, you know, process what we need him to process. And that seems cool to me. Now, technically that is a net loss of power. So if we needed to keep up with that, and we might at some point decide we want to keep up with that, we could. And we could always flip this dude back on, so that's another thing too. So we would just need to do more power, or, you know, not. We'll figure it out. At some point we will run out of RF. And that would probably be a problem for someone. And that someone is named Future Dyer. Yeah, see, we definitely... we might be draining RF pretty quickly here. Weren't we at 611 a minute ago? Let's see. But making antimatter is not cheap. That's what it comes down to. We may decide to amp up power production to keep up with our SPS. We could look into fusion from mechanism. That's a good one. We could also look into big reactors. Or is it extreme reactors now? Yeah, basically that, right? I've not looked at this mod in a while, and it could be fun to. Hey, look, there's an extreme book. That's cool. So we could do that. We could look at the extreme reactors book. Look at that. So we need yellowite and bentonite and andesite. So do we have yellowite? I'm assuming we do. Maybe they just need uranium? Maybe it's ore dictionaried with uranium? Maybe? I don't know. But extreme reactors, like, this might be a fun reason to get into extreme reactors. Because I wanted to play with this mod, and I was like, but I have so much RF from mechanism, like, it feels stupid to, like, make more RF. But now that we have a use for it, I mean, just saying. Now, I think I can also... You ready for this? You ready for this? I think I can also... Isn't there a way, and hopefully I don't make my, you know, nuclear spill worse by doing this. Isn't there a way to make you require redstone? I feel like there is. Redstone sensitivity turned on. Okay, so if I flip this lever, look what happens. Huh? How cool is that? How cool is that? He's idle. And he is outputting 2 million RF a tick still. No, output is 0. Okay, that's good. So he built up his antimatter. He must have an internal buffer. Yeah, 400 million RF. So if I do that... Yeah, he's going to chew through that buffer as fast as he can. See? But then he's going to fill up that buffer. See it up there? And then once it fills up, he will stop outputting power. Right about nowish. There you go. Cool beans? Right? So now this is a single lever that controls whether or not we're producing polonium pellets or antimatter. And turning that lever also stops the power drain. So if we get to a point where we're like out of power before we get extreme reactors running, we just flip the lever and then we'll be fine. Like it? So I can see that uranium is going to turn into yellorium, which is the reactant, I guess, for this dude. Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that we'll be fine. It looks like we can just use uranium from FTV or mechanism, probably. Whichever uranium ingots we happen to have, we'll be fine. And we have a lot. Yeah, we have 4,000 of it. So, how about we do this? How about we come back next episode and we get into extreme reactors? Does that sound cool? That'll be our to-do list item, so that we can generate enough power to keep this SPS running. If we wanted to stay within the bounds of mechanism, we could get into fusion reactors, or we could make a bigger version of this, because this is a moderately small-sized reactor slash turbine. But I feel like making this bigger is just kind of repeating content you guys already saw, so I'm going to use a new mod rather than repeating it. But like I said, if you wanted to like stay within the bounds of Mechanism to power the Mechanism machines, you could absolutely do that with Mechanism reactors, no problem. All right, let's wrap up here. So Darwell 20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We will come back next time and get into extreme reactors and check out how that mod compares in terms of uranium to RF power production and multi-blocking and all that fun stuff. Because it's been a really long time since I played with that mod, so I'm interested in checking it out. All right, take it easy.